I was scrolling the other night and I realized something kind of uncomfortable. I had just watched 5 self-improvement videos in a row. One about discipline, one about waking up at 5 a.m., one about quitting social media while I was literally still on social media, one about building confidence, and one about how to stop overthinking. And after all of that, I didn't do anything. I just sat there, closed the app, and went to sleep. And that's when it hit me. Watching self-improvement content feels productive, but most of the time, it's just another form of procrastination. We've created this weird loop for ourselves. You feel stuck, so you go online looking for answers. You find a video that sounds exactly like what you need. You watch it. You feel motivated for like 10 minutes, and then nothing changes. So the next day you watch another one, and another one, and another one, until you've built this entire routine around thinking about improving your life, instead of actually improving it. And don't get me wrong, some of these videos are genuinely helpful. They can introduce you to new ideas, they can give you perspective, they can even push you to take action sometimes. But there's a point where it flips, where instead of helping you move forward, they become the thing that's keeping you stuck. Because here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. You don't need more information. You already know what you should be doing. You should probably sleep earlier. You should probably stop scrolling so much. You should probably move your body, eat better, focus more, talk to people, take risks, all of that. So why aren't you doing it? It's not because you haven't watched the right video yet. It's because watching feels safer than doing. Watching a video about discipline is easy. Actually waking up early when you're tired, that's hard. Watching a video about confidence is easy. Going up to someone and starting a conversation, that's uncomfortable. Watching a video about building your dream life is easy. Putting yourself in a position where you might fail, that's terrifying. So instead, we stay in the safe zone. We stay in learning mode. We convince ourselves that we're working on ourselves when really we're just avoiding the part that actually matters. And the scary part is this can go on for years. You can spend years consuming content about becoming a better version of yourself without ever becoming that person. Because improvement doesn't come from watching. It comes from friction, from awkward conversations, from failed attempts, from doing things badly at first, from showing up when you don't feel like it. And none of that happens on your phone. There's this moment that happens after you watch a really good video. You feel it, that little spike of motivation. That feeling like, all right, this time I'm actually going to change. And for a second, it feels real. But that feeling, it's kind of a trap. Because your brain doesn't fully know the difference between progress and preparation for progress. So when you watch something inspiring, you get a small hit of satisfaction. Like you did something meaningful, even though you didn't. It's like reading about going to the gym, or watching videos about starting a business, or planning your perfect routine for the 50th time. It feels productive, but nothing in your life actually moves. And the more you rely on that feeling, the less likely you are to take real action. Because real action doesn't feel as good at the start. It's slower, it's messier, it's uncomfortable. So you end up choosing the thing that feels better in the moment, even if it keeps you exactly where you are. And I'm not saying you should never watch self-improvement content again. That's not realistic. And honestly, some of it is genuinely valuable. But what I'm saying is this: at a certain point, you have to stop consuming and start living, because the life you want isn't hiding in another video. It's on the other side of doing the things you already know you should do. And this isn't an accident, by the way. The reason it's so easy to get stuck in this loop is because the entire system is designed that way. Think about it. Self-improvement content doesn't benefit from you improving too quickly, because if you actually fixed everything in your life, you wouldn't need to keep watching. So what happens instead? You get just enough value to feel like you're making progress, but not enough to actually break out of the cycle. You watch a video about discipline. It makes sense. It sounds good. You agree with everything, but nothing in that video forces you to change. So you save it. Maybe you even rewatch it. And now it feels like you're on the right path, but being on the path and actually walking it are two completely different things. And again, I'm not blaming creators for this. A lot of them are just sharing what worked for them. But as a viewer, you have to be aware of how easy it is to confuse consumption with progress. Because once you fall into that trap, you start outsourcing your growth. Instead of thinking for yourself, you start waiting for the next video to tell you what to do, the next routine, the next habit, the next one thing that will change your life. And slowly you lose your ability to just sit with your own thoughts and figure things out. You don't experiment anymore. You don't try things your own way. You don't trust yourself. You just consume. And the craziest part, you can feel productive while doing absolutely nothing. You can spend an entire day watching content about discipline, focus, success, habits, mindset. And at the end of the day, your life looks exactly the same. No new actions, no real change, just more ideas sitting in your head. It's like trying to learn how to swim by watching videos about swimming. At some point, you have to get in the water. And yeah, you're going to feel uncomfortable. You might panic a little. You're probably going to be bad at it, but that's the only way you actually learn. So the question becomes, how do you break out of this? Because it's not as simple as just saying, all right, I'm done watching videos. You'll probably just come back to them. You need something more practical than that, something real. So here's what actually helped me. The first thing is setting a limit on how much you consume, not completely cutting it out, just being intentional. If you watch a self-improvement video, that's fine, but don't watch 5. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't let it turn into a 2-hour research session. Watch one, take something from it, and then close the app. That's it. Because the value isn't in how much you consume. It's in what you do after you consume it. The second thing is replacing consumption with action immediately. This is the part most people skip. You watch a video about fixing your sleep schedule. Cool, don't watch another one. Just go to bed earlier tonight. You watch a video about talking to people? Cool, talk to one person today. That's it. Not 10, just one. You watch a video about getting your life together? Cool, clean your room, go for a walk, do something small. Because action, even small action, breaks the loop. It tells your brain we're not just thinking about this anymore. And once you start doing that consistently, something interesting happens. You stop needing the videos as much because now you're learning from your own life. You're not just hearing about what works. You're experiencing it, testing it, adjusting it, and that's way more powerful than anything you can watch. The third thing is learning to sit with boredom again. This is a big one. Most of us reach for our phones the second there's nothing happening. We've completely removed the space where real thoughts happen because boredom used to force you to think, to reflect, to come up with ideas, to process your life. But now we just fill that space instantly. And without that space, you never really confront anything. You never ask yourself the hard questions. You never figure out what you actually want. You just keep distracting yourself. So instead of immediately reaching for your phone, try doing nothing for a bit. Sit there, walk without music, drive without a podcast. It's going to feel weird at first, almost uncomfortable, but that's where clarity starts to show up. That's where you realize, I actually already know what I need to do. And that realization, that's the beginning of real change. There's a version of your life that you keep thinking about, the one where you're more disciplined, more confident, more focused, more you. You've pictured it before, maybe late at night or after watching a really motivating video. You tell yourself, yeah, this is the version of me I'm becoming. But that version of you, it's not built by watching. It's built in the small moments that nobody sees. Waking up when you don't feel like it, doing the thing you've been avoiding, starting before you feel ready, trying and not being good at it yet, that's where it actually happens. Not in a perfectly structured routine, not in some optimal morning system, not in another video telling you what your life could look like, but in the messy, boring, uncomfortable reality of just doing the thing. And I think deep down, you already know that you don't need another explanation, you don't need another breakdown, you don't need another top 10 habits list. You need to move. Because the longer you stay in this loop, the harder it becomes to leave it. Not because you're lazy, but because you get used to it. You get used to feeling like you're improving without actually changing anything. And over time, that starts to mess with you. You start questioning yourself, why am I still in the same place? Why can't I stick to anything? Why does nothing ever change? But the answer isn't that you're broken. It's that you've been stuck in preparation mode for too long. You've been waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel motivated, waiting for the perfect moment to start. And that moment doesn't exist. There's no version of this where it suddenly becomes easy, where you wake up one day and everything just clicks. It's always going to feel a little uncomfortable at the start. That's the price. But the upside is that it doesn't take much to shift out of this. You don't need to completely reinvent your life overnight. You don't need to build the perfect routine. You don't need to fix everything at once. You just need to do something real. Something small, something slightly uncomfortable, something that moves you forward even a little bit, because that one action breaks the illusion. It separates you from the version of you that just watches and moves you toward the version of you that actually lives. And once you feel that difference, it's hard to go back because real progress feels different. It's quieter, less exciting at first, but deeper, more satisfying. It builds confidence in a way that no video ever could, because now you trust yourself. You know that when you say you're going to do something, you actually do it, and that changes everything. So here's what I want you to do after this video ends. Don't watch another one. Don't open another tab. Don't look for part 2. Don't search for more advice. Just pause for a second and ask yourself one simple question. What's one thing I already know I should be doing that I've been avoiding? You already have the answer, and whatever that thing is, go do it. Not tomorrow, not later, not when you feel ready, but now. Because your life isn't going to change from what you watch next. It's going to change from what you do next. So close the app, put the phone down, and go live a life that doesn't need to be escaped from or constantly fixed.